so excited for you to meet her and to hear her thoughts and perspective on this book. If Diets Don't Work, What Does? It's available on Amazon today, which feels so weird and crazy and awesome to say. I'm so excited to get this book out into the world and into your hands. And I think Tricia is going to help you see why this is so important, why it's so powerful. So thank you so much for being here, Tricia. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So awesome being here. Thank you for inviting me, really.
Yeah. So we just wanted to maybe dive into kind of how things started for you. We met, was it kind of the beginning of 2021? It was kind of December, January.
December, yep.
Yes. So what was it that made you reach out to me? And we started working together back then. What was it that kind of happened for you that made you want to hire a health coach?
Well, I had been doing plant-based for 2 years, I just knew that grains were important and not so much meat. It was really needing to change. And so, I had started doing that and, I just thought, well, for sure I'd lose weight, and I wasn't. And, I kept on, maybe I wasn't doing it right. Anyway, all that time. And it's a big change. I mean, that's a big change from the standard American diet. So, it took time there, but I think I just got to, and this was even after just dieting, right? Just doing your normal standard or diet out there, which is usually like low carb and high meat and all those kind of things, and failed and failed and failed. And really, I was really hoping that turning plant-based was going to be like my answer for health.
Right.
And it wasn't. And I think finally, when I broke down and just started looking, it was like my last, it was like the end of my rope. It was like I was just done, and I would do anything that if somebody, knew that it would help me, then I would try. Anyway, I found you, and it's interesting how when you're on your very last, hope that the right thing comes along, and it was definitely you. And I even remember crying our first chat, just because it felt so good to have somebody, know where I was and knew that they could help me. So that was a big deal. So
Yeah.
that's where it was when I found you.
Yeah, that's kind of where we started. And I think it's important for people to hear that you did the dieting roller coaster, and you, like so many of the other women that I have worked with and am working with, people don't come to me because it's working. They come to me because it's not working, and they don't understand why. And they think maybe I'm just doing it wrong and I need someone to give me the answers. And I think that's how you were showing up as well. But it only took a conversation or two for us to kind of connect on this idea of, it's not that you're doing it wrong. It's that maybe there's more to the picture. Maybe we need to take a couple steps back and look at the bigger picture. So what were kind of the aha moments that you've had as we started working together, as we started talking and kind of peeling back those layers? Like, what was it? What was the missing piece for you? It wasn't the fad diets. It wasn't just plant-based nutrition. So what is it? What's helping you now that you didn't have before?
Well, it was being kind to myself, being kind to my body. Like I think I had heard, just me searching through the years, had heard that you have to come to a point where you love your body. And I always thought, oh, well, I'll love my body when I lose the weight, right?
Yeah.
And what you taught and what you teach in the book is loving to yourself. It's loving yourself to health, really.
Yeah.
And people think, the only way to lose weight is the grind, right? And all that. No, it is being kind to yourself. And so every step that we took together that you showed me in all these different areas that the book totally, breaks down, and even just the habit changes, knowing how to change. I could see where the problems were, but knowing how to do it, you had those answers. And so, yeah, it was like, yes, 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 every time you would teach me something. And so.
Awesome. Awesome. So I want to pull out a couple of the things that you shared there, because the work that we do in our coaching is very much what is in the book. So you mentioned habit change. I was talking with someone that had read the book, and they said, I felt like it started kind of slow. Like, I wanted you to just dive in and start telling me right away about the 5 things that we talk about, which is we talk about sleep. We go to nutrition, which I do tap into plant-based nutrition in a gentle way. And then we go to exercise, stress management, and mindset. And she was reading the book, and she says, it kind of started slow. And I said, but did you learn something? And she's like, yeah, I can see how important the habit change piece is, and the rooting out of the diet culture. So that's kind of the journey that you go through. I tried to mirror the journey that I take you and other clients on in the book. And so I love that you've had both experiences of reading it and working with me, and that you can kind of attest that it is the same experience. It's the same idea.
Yes. And it's even better because you can have the book every day. I'm like, oh, can I call Danielle right now? If you have the book, you can relearn it. I mean, all these things that we learned going the wrong way, it takes a while to unpackage all that and have a new way of thinking about it. So having a book, like, I can't wait to get the book, and I have you once a week and other places too. But anyway, yes, the book will be so great for anyone. And I'm just excited to have it too, because a change takes a while. And that's what you share. This isn't going to be a quick fix. So if you're here wanting this book you're going to lose, 20 pounds in 30 days, it's not the book for you. But if you want sustainable change for here on out, then you've found it, because this is where it's at. And this is what I'll do all the rest of my days.
It's so awesome. It really accomplishes the task of pulling us out of this result-oriented mindset and focusing more on the process, focusing more on the habits, the behaviors, and then letting the results take care of themselves. So that is a really, really scary step for people to take. I know, because I try to take my clients, that's like if I had an agenda, that is my agenda. It's a gentle, quiet one. And as soon as they're ready for it, I'm all in to say, yes, let's leave the result orientedness behind, and let's focus just on these habits. So what would you say to someone that's kind of on the cusp of that, but they're scared? Like, if I stop setting a weight loss goal, like, I'm just going to let go and I'm going to slip it, what would you say to that person that's like wanting to go into this new way of thinking about their health?
I remember that feeling. I totally do. When it was, we'd set these action plans, was that what it's called? Action.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly. But anyway, we'd set these habits and these actions to do. And I remember, like, that's all I have to do is work on just this one little aspect. I can totally do that. When when the other, if you're just only worried about weight, that's like overwhelming, like breaking it down into small, doable steps, and just being concerned about those things. It's actually fun. It's actually like, I can do this. And then you're seeing progress, and it's just one step at a time. But it is way better than holding on to some really far, or at least you think far, finish line. That takes a lot of energy to hold on to something that far. When you can see something short term, see your progress,
Mm-hmm.
And then build upon it and build upon it. I mean, it actually feels like you're making a difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it works. I know that it works.
Yeah. I love what you're speaking to, because when you say it works, what we're talking about is this process of taking the overwhelm out of the picture and saying, okay, if I want to head in this direction, if I want to create health, if I want to feel better, if I want to have these certain healthy habits, what do I need to start focusing on now to do that? And as we dig into that, it does get easier, and it lets you just focus on the ground in front of you rather than being so, kind of like you're saying, like having this big, heavy, far off thing that you're white knuckling and sacrificing and depriving your way to. It's a totally different mindset. It's a totally different process. So tell me, like, what do you think is most special or different about this approach than like the other programs you've seen? And you've been through it all. You've done the fad dieting and you've done the plant-based nutrition. You've read the books, you've done the programs. What's different or special about this?
I'm happy. I'm happier. Like, I'm happy right now. And I'm not even, where I want to be, but for the first time, probably in my life, of feeling not where I want to be, this is the first time I've ever felt like I'm in control of my health. Like, I know how to get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm on the right path. And that brings happiness,
Yeah.
that there's joy to be had all along the way on a health journey that I see all the time. I mean, I have my moments, okay, because I'm fad diet, immersed for most of my adult life, you know what I mean? So I have my moments, but then I remind myself, you know what? I exercise every day. I sleep 8 hours. I, have a better relationship with my husband. And it's all because of these small little habit changes that, that I'm able to do.
Yeah. So I want to go back to this idea of, if you were talking to someone that is maybe open to the idea of letting go of the dieting mentality and maybe just focusing on the process and the progress and the habits, letting go of that result of, I want to lose that 20 pounds in 30 days. What results have you noticed for you? Like, you may not have had the weight loss that you wanted, right? But what other things have you seen and are you focused on that is giving you feedback that you are on the right path? Because you've used those words before with me. I know I'm on the right path. You've said many times. How do you know that?
Because my health is getting better. I am thinking clearer. I don't have, any I had one headache, compared to having so many headaches, so that's huge. I have more peace. I have more, I feel stronger. My body feels stronger. I have a better, like I said, with my husband, I have a better relationship. We've done little budgeting habits changes, and that has helped us in our relationship. I mean, you can't put a price tag on those kind of things. Do you know what I mean? Like, feeling good and feeling, not controlled by food that's huge.
That is. Thank you for sharing that. I think a lot of people need to hear that there is more to this than just the number on the scale. And you've experienced
it's way
that
better.
We're talking quality of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're talking how we feel in our own skin every day. So I think that's beautiful. if you could like kind of identify who you would like to read this book, who is this book for?
Well, it's for everybody, and I wish I'd got it a long time ago. But really, probably, I would say the whole food plant-based person who isn't at the health they want. What a great, I mean, it's great, but it would be good for anybody who really wants long-term health.
Yeah. Get off the roller coaster.
Yeah. Get out of that, because that is so true. Get off the roller coaster. I think, many of us have done that. It's not a fun ride.
It's normal life these days. Yeah. It's just normal life. And, even people that haven't been on diets, we've all been impacted by diet culture, because it is the culture of the health and wellness and the health and fitness industry. All of the things that diet culture teaches, it seeps into everything. And before we hit record, before we went live, we both kind of agreed it's alive and well in the whole food plant-based community, unfortunately. So yes, I do think that the message in this book is powerful to kind of like pull that shade off of your eyes and say, okay, I'm seeing this clearly, and I can see what's going to support me and what's not going to support me. And a lot of it does come back to the mindset that we're coming at this journey with. Awesome. So why is this so important? Like, I know you have felt like almost some urgency to this as you've read it and as we've worked together. Like, why does it matter?
Because life is short to not be happy and not have, we are, important enough to feel good and, not need a pill and not need a drink and not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want the rest of my life to not have to, be up and down.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm ready to be healthy and happy.
Awesome. I love that. What I hear in that is like diet culture is kind of stealing that from us. Mm-hmm. And you can't change it until you see it. So reading this book will definitely help us see it and reject it and brush it aside and know what to replace it with, not only in how we're thinking, but also what we're doing, what we're focusing on. So thank you so much for being willing to come on with me today and share these thoughts and ideas. I think that you are just a bright light, and I love working with you, and I love that you have really experienced the fullness of what's possible with taking a bigger picture, a bigger perspective to your health and wellness. And it just brings me so much joy to see you feeling happy and things going well. And it's just an honor. So thank you so much. For those of you that are watching, thank you. For those of you that are watching, again, the book is If Diets Don't Work, What Does? It's available on Amazon, paperback, and Kindle, so whichever way you prefer to read. There are journal prompts at the end of each of these chapters. So many people that have read this book have felt like it's not like an informational book as much as it is a coaching tool that you can really coach yourself with this. And like Tricia's saying, like she's even going to come back around to this and use it as that tool. So go check that out. Share it with people. You can also go to ifdietsdon'tworkwhatdoes.com and you can share that. And thank you so much. We'll be back on again later tonight with Cara at 7:30 Mountain Time, and we'll have one more celebratory interview. Again, thank you so much, Tricia, and take care.